So exciting. Last section of the semester. The only other video you guys are going to get from me is a final exam review video, but this is really exciting. So 7.4 is the area of a triangle. And we have a whole mess of formulas here. And what I have on the left side is like these are the type of triangles we would use it for. If we're given a side, the angle, and the side. If we're given the angle, and then that next side. Or if we're given three sides. I know that these are marks of congruency and equivalency, but I'm just marking them for what we would be given. Okay, so I'm going to be kind of real with you here. This one, very common. I don't want us to think about each one of these scenarios. Once again, I'm going to show you how to use it where you don't have to think about each one of these scenarios. This third one I've seen before, so not quite as common as that first one, but still I've seen it before. I've seen it used. That middle one, those middle types, I can honestly say that in the long time that I've been doing math, I have actually never seen these formulas until I was using your book. And I just want to make one fix here. This should be sine B. So A sine A sine B. Anyways, not important. Basically, these are the formulas. These are very, very rarely used. I'll show you how to use them. They're not hard. We'll talk about side, side, side. And there's another thing I want to add here. Semi-perimeter is going to be 1/2 A plus B plus C. All right. So we're going to show you how to use all of them. No big deal. And that's going to be it. So find the area of triangle ABC given A is 25, B is 120, and A is 4.25 feet. All right, so I like to draw the picture. You guys know that. So A is 25, B is 120, and A is 4.25. So this is an example of an angle, angle, side triangle. All right, so, and it really just depends on what you have. If you have, if you're trying to find we're going to end up using one of these formulas, but like I said, it really depends on what you have. But if you ever want to use one of these formulas, you have to have all three angles. So they don't give us this other angle, but we can find it really easily. So 120 plus 25 would be 145. 180 minus 45 is 135 degrees. Oh, I'm sorry. 180 minus 145 is 35 degrees. All right. And then you just want to use the side that you have. Like, we're not going to bother and find anything else here. So we have A squared. All right, so we're going to, like I said, we're going to use these formulas. I'll show you how it works. We're going to end up using this first one just because of what we have. So my area is going to be A squared, which is going to be 4.25 squared. Sine of B, sine 120. Sine of C, which is 35 degrees. And then it's going to be 2 sine of A, which is 25. So this is A squared, sine of B, sine of C, 2 sine of A. So A on top, A on bottom, and then the B's and all that good stuff. Don't worry about memorizing these formulas. I give them to you. Don't worry about it. So don't fret. All right, we just plug in. These are just plug and chug types of questions. I don't want us to kind of lax off because it is the last unit, but just be aware of it and make sure you know how to use them. Now, be careful when you're plugging it into your calculator that in the denominator you do 2 sine 25 in parentheses so your calculator knows to multiply those two things together. Otherwise, you're going to get a different answer. So make sure you put 2 sine 25 in its own set of parentheses like I did there. Okay? Hit enter, and we'll have 10.62. So 10.62 we're in feet squared. All right, that's it. Put in parentheses in calculator. Okay, that's the hardest, weirdest, clumsiest formula to use. Like I said, we don't use it that often, so don't worry about it. Don't fret about it. Just look at what you have, plug in what you have, and go from there. And if you need to find another angle, that's no big deal. All right, so find the area of triangle ABC given that A is 42.3, B is 3.41, and C is 4.72. All right, we draw the picture, see what we have. A, B, and C. We have A is 42.3, B is 3.41, and C is 4.72. All right, so here we have an side, angle, side, side, angle, side. That angle is what we call, it's called an included angle. And it's the angle between the two sides. So it's not like some random angle like off in the triangle. It's the angle between the two sides. All right, so we're going to use these first set of formula, which I'm just much more comfortable with in general. So here's how it works. It's 1/2, and then once again, we're not going to find stuff we don't need. So it's 1/2 these two sides times each other. So 4.72 times 3.41. And then times the sine of the angle between them, 42.3. Much easier to use, not very clumsy like the previous one. All right, so 0.5 for 1/2, 4.72, 3.41, sine 42.3. Once again, I feel like I haven't said this in a while, but just make sure your calculator is in degree mode here. Okay, so 5.42. 5.42. I don't have units. We'll just say units squared. Cool. All right. And then finally, find the area of the triangle ABC if A is 15, B is 13, and C is 22. All right. Draw the picture just so that we see what this looks like. A is 15, B is 13, C is 22. Side, side, side. Pretty straightforward. So we're going to use the semi-perimeter formula. It's going to feel a little awkward and a little weird, but it's really not so bad. So the first thing we want to do, they call it little s, but I'm going to semi-perimeter. Big S and little s look alike. So semi-perimeter is going to be 1/2 of all three sides added up. And if you're like, God, I really wish it was like 1/3, because then it'd be like an average. Like you would add up three sides and then divide by 3. I'm with you. But it's 1/2 and then sum those three sides. So 0.5, 15 plus 13 plus 22. 25, cool. All right, now our area is going to be square root of this 25. And then all that we do is we subtract each side from the semi-perimeter. So, and it doesn't matter what order you go in, just it always has to be the semi-perimeter minus the side, because otherwise you might get a negative number and we can't be having that. So, be 25 minus 22, 25 minus 15, 25 minus 13 underneath that radical. Now, if you don't like the way that this looks, you are more than welcome to simplify it before you plug it into your calculator. 25 minus 22 is just going to be 3. 25 minus 15 is going to be 10. And 25 minus 13 is just going to be 12. That's just going to be a little bit easier to manage. And once again, we just plug it in. 25 times 3 times 10 times 12. Okay, 94.87. 94.87 meters squared. All right. So that looks great. Once again, these formulas I give to you, I'm looking at your homework right now, and there's nothing outrageous in there. It just has you guys using these formulas over and over. Don't bypass this homework because it's the last section. Make sure you do it. Make sure you're comfortable with these formulas, because they are hopefully going to be easy points here on your final. So don't worry about memorizing them, but please be sure you know how to use them and that you're comfortable with them.